I saw you, and then all of my nights turned morning. You turned round, and I suddenly found my glory.
Sometimes I pinch myself 'cause I don't know. Am I dreaming now? I want to stop the clocks and hold you close, but I don't know how.
Play Ya-Ya Ding Dong!
Now playing movie reviews in 20 Qs.
Hello, good people. I don't know how to follow whatever that was, but hello, good people, and welcome to the podcast Movie Reviews in 20 Qs, the show where we review a movie by asking 20 weird and wonderful questions about it. I am your host, Sam Hurley, and as you can tell by those delightful, charming voices, I am joined by both a male and female, one of which is Matiu. How are you, Matiu?
Not bad. And we're doing another musical. This is great. I think we should just do musicals.
Fuck no! Musical reviews in 20 Qs?
Yeah,
No,
musical reviews in 20
I'm
Qs.
out.
I think I'm going to start my own podcast called Musical Reviews in 20 Qs. And can you host that, please?
I can definitely host that.
I will guest on it every time.
Exactly. I'll do everything you want, Matiu. I'll set you up a website, everything like that. Yeah. I'm never going to do anything for that. But yeah, as you guys, the other voice is Liz. How are you, Liz? Doing good?
I'm excellent, thank you. It is delightful to be here as always, reviewing this really, really spectacular film.
And the film that we are talking about is Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga. Probably the longest titled movie that we've had on this podcast.
Except maybe Birds of Prey?
The longest
Harley Quinn and the
Birds of Prey.
Fantabulous Emancipation of... I've lost the track of saying
Yeah.
The Gentleman, the one that you've just recently done, literally is longer than this one. Titled, yeah.
The Gentleman has more words than Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga.
I thought it was just called The Fire Saga.
Fuck, it's 3:40 in the afternoon, bro.
Or Eurovision. I've had a few
blind
drinks.
fucking
I've had a few drinks.
Yeah, do not let him drive home.
No, so this is the position we're at the moment. So yeah, Eurovision Song Contest, it's a 2020 film, if you can believe that. There are such things. Starring Will Ferrell as Lars Eriksson, Rachel McAdams as Sigrid Eriksdotter, Dan Stevens as Alexander Lemtov, Piers Brosnan as Eric Eriksson. Oh, that's funny. And yeah, basically a whole bunch of other Eurovision singers, etc., etc. And usually what we do is whoever's watched the movie the most recently has to give a plot. But given that I was watching the movie up until about 20 seconds before we started recording this, it's going to be me. So the plot of this film is two small town singers chase their pop star dreams at a global music competition, which is Eurovision, where scheming rivals, high stakes, and onstage mishaps test their bond. It's almost like I've Googled a plot because I knew I had to give the plot.
Yeah, that did not sound like your own words. C- for that.
Sound way too polished. Having a look at the scores for this film, 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 50% on Metacritic, 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've been biting my tongue to see what these guys think of this film because I don't know which way they're going to go. But yeah, if you haven't heard this podcast before, what we do is we review a movie by asking 20 weird and wonderful questions about it. We fly through 10 that can be applied to any film. We then move into 3 personal questions we thought of while watching this film. And then we usually end on a listener question, but we have a new Patreon, Mr. Chris Eni, you're the man, bro. So we are going to end on his one. And the one that we start with is the compliment sandwich, or the shit sandwich, if we're giving the movie a score over or under 5,000 out of 10,000. So, Matiu, why don't you lead us off? Are you giving a compliment or a shit sandwich?
Well, my first good thing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right, bitches. Good thing. This has got some A-class music in it. It's power ballads and pop songs, and I just love it. And I think anyone that loves good music, Sam, would definitely like this movie, Sam.
You do love your A-class, don't you?
This is the powder room of music, if you're out there and you like music, Sam. And I suppose my one bad thing, it's a comedy, but unfortunately it's not funny.
Awkward.
The funniest thing about it is it's not funny. It's like, at some points in the film, they have funny bits, and you're like, oh, that's right, this is a comedy. And you're kind of thinking...
Yeah. The laughs are quite few and far between. There were definitely a couple of laughs.
Yeah, there was a few.
But it's a couple.
Oh, there was the guy that asked for Ya Ya Ding Dong. There's the
I love Ya Ya Ding Dong.
the American tourist, but that comes out of nowhere, and you're like,
the boat
that's
explosion. Right. I found the boat explosion hilarious.
I was about to say the funniest part was when they're like, "Oh, we're through, but everyone's dead, but we're through."
No, don't say the rest bit. Don't say the rest bit because I'm going to use that later. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And Eurovision itself is spectacular. All the lights, all the costumes, and all of that was awesome. And if there's nothing you take away from the film, it gets you into thinking, man, one day maybe I'll watch Eurovision. I never have, and I probably never will. But hey,
Thank you for answering another future question.
Yeah.
There's one thing that might get me to watch this is this film. So yeah,
Matu's completely ruined this podcast by answering about 5 of our later questions in the first fucking question.
Compliment sandwich.
Maybe you could just cut them off. Cut them off early. Everyone will be glad.
Get what you paid for. Okay, what about a score out of 10,000 giant hamster wheels?
Oh, this one is bang on the Metacritic mark, which is 5,001 hamster wheels.
You're a fucking dick, eh? Me and Liz talked before this. Anyway.
We knew it.
Oh, we knew it. Oh, this is hilarious.
I did puzzle about this. I had to think about it. It wasn't an easy decision, whether it was a compliment or a shit sandwich, but my first good thing...
Ooh.
Yes, I've gone compliment sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the songs and performances, I'll agree with Matiu, were quite good to watch. Like, they were quite entertaining. They will not be queuing up on my Spotify. I'm not going to lie to you. But, in the moment there, when I was just watching them and having a chilled out day watching Eurovision, kind of entertaining, yeah. Cool costumes and stuff. I mean, hilarious, but also fun. The bad thing for me was the dialogue. It was just so stilted and shitty. And I was just like, why are you talking like children? And it just did not work the vast majority of the film. There were like a couple of good quotes, but most of the time I was like, this is shit. And finally, my other compliment is that I liked the whole elves thing. Like, that was the best addition to the film. Like, that made the film for me. Like, that is what took it over from being
That's the
a
Stacey
shit sandwich to a
comment
compliment.
right
That is the Stacey comment. We've got the Stacey comment.
Love the fucking elves. They were amazing.
I love
they
the
made it,
elves.
and like, they were the bits that made it funny. Otherwise it would have been shit. Anyway,
I love the
that's my answer.
supernatural murderers. That's the
Yeah.
Stacey comment.
I love how
spoiler
they
alert.
like cakes and stabbing people in the back.
Shush!
Oh, yeah.
You're spoiling all of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you haven't seen this film, we are going to spoil the hell out of it from the start.
So anyway, I'm going to give it 5,189 hamster wheels. Like, it wasn't great.
You like it more than me.
It was okay. It was all right,
Okay, cool. Moves you on to my one. Do we really have to talk about this fucking film? That's a good question. Can we just leave?
We could
No one
just
cares.
sing. How about we just
No.
sing?
Oh, fuck no. I'm out. Goodbye. Thank you.
I saw
If you want to get in contact with us, you can find us on Twitter at Movie Reviews In. If you want to send us an email, you can find us at
Anyway, Sam, tell us your opinions.
Okay, first good thing, I agree with you guys. The production values.
Whoa! Whoa! Got him!
No, you didn't. First good thing, production values. Yeah, I mean, like, I've got no interest whatsoever in Eurovision, like much you said, but this kind of makes me want to
Stop.
watch
Okay,
it.
I'm going to have to come up with a new question now later on.
I know. We've shit all over your question
I will.
Liz.
I will come up with a surprise question. You'll just have to answer on the spot now.
Yes, answer a mystery question, Liz.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, the production values are awesome. The songs are like quite well choreographed and put together and everything like that. And then moving on to the bad thing. I mean, there's a lot of things in this film that I'm really not that big a fan of. But, like, you're right, Liz. Like, some of the dialogue and the humor just falls incredibly flat. Like, there's scenes that sort of go on for longer than they should do. There's scenes that are sort of undercooked and sort of, like, just not very well written. And it's just not that fun and enjoyable. But then, final good thing, Rachel McAdams and Dan Stevens. Holy shit. Man, they rock.
What, you're saying they have
They are-
chemistry? Or just the actors?
Yeah, Dan Stevens as Lemtov is awesome. As this, like, Russian who, there's no gays in Russia. You know?
Are you sure?
Oh, no. There are no gays.
No binary or anything? No gays.
What part of the chemistry is good? The fact that he can
No, I'm not talking about the chemistry. I'm just talking about their like performances in this movie.
Right.
Rachel McAdams does a lot of heavy lifting, and I've always been a fan of her, despite what everyone like gives a shit about what we said about her in
No,
the
I
Notebook.
like her.
But she rocked in
the
Mean
Notebook
Girls.
was terrible.
Yeah, but she rocked in
Yeah.
Mean Girls. She rocked in this. I just really enjoyed her, and then I thought Dan Stevens was really good as well.
Yeah, he was okay. He
So-
was okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to give it 5,002.
I thought you guys.
It's a
Nice.
very, very narrow pass for me.
It's a long film, eh? This film isn't short.
It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah,
2 hours
I think
and
it could
there's
have
a lot of
easily been an
fucking
hour and a half. Could have been an hour and a half. We were all being happier.
Yeah, if they took the songs out and it was an hour and a half, it would have been a lot better.
I think a few more of the Eurovision contestants' songs would have been better.
Don't get me started on that.
Those guys can sing, like legitimately sing. Like the scene where the bearded man is singing with that girl when they do the song along. That's some pretty high pitched bloody.
Yeah, they can sing.
ballads.
They certainly can sing. And then when Will Ferrell chimes in, it's like, you are woefully misplaced in this film, my friend.
But I like
when
that
he's
he
running
didn't
on a
get...
hamster wheel.
Oh, we're going to cover that off later. Look, before we answer all of the questions, how about Matiu? You ask us question number 2.
So question number 2, what character is your spirit animal?
So for me, it was definitely Sigrid because she is quirky. I'm quirky. She's smart. I am smart. And she doesn't care what other people think about her. And I do my very best to do that too. Like, I just think she's this totally awesome, ballsy chick that's a little weird, but that's cool. And she just rocks and she, like, is the star of the whole show, which I am also. Yeah, I'm the star of this show. Yeah.
You're definitely the protagonist in your own story, Liz. I'll give you that.
I'm protagonist in all the stories. I'm the center of the universe. Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, nothing speaks to me more than a loudmouth idiot who has no self-awareness and keeps chasing after a dream long after he should have given up. Plus, he's also very hopeless with a woman. That's right. I'm Will Ferrell's character. I'm definitely him.
You really are, like 100%.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm totally the dude that, like, all these, like, really talented people are having, like, a song-along or playing rugby, and I show up and I'm like, I can play too. And they're like, yeah, we'll give him a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Let's give him a cameo. He's me. He's totally me. What about you, Matiu?
What about you, Matiu?
Oh, so my spirit animal would probably be Graham Norton because he sits in the back in dark rooms and takes the piss out of everyone. Sounds like a bit of me.
I wondered where you were going with that.
That makes a little bit more sense. I was a bit curious, but no, that seems fair. Yeah.
That
all right.
Totally makes a lot of sense. All right.
Not the Greek girl because she is a bit of a sleaze, but
yeah, but she's hot, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Equals out.
Fair call. Yeah. I'll allow it. Yeah.
All right. What's question number 3?
Question number 3. What deep philosophical debate arose in you during this film, guys?
Okay, yeah, so at one point Lemtov says that no one likes the UK, so they will have 0 points, right? They go, she's
in the
talented
Eurovision competition, that's very true.
Yes, it's very true. However, this is hosted in Edinburgh. Oh, sorry, this competition is hosted in Edinburgh, which would imply that the UK had won it the year before. So, who likes the UK?
Ooh. How did they do it?
Exactly. How did they get there?
Shown what the thing was. That's a really good call. And they could have shown the winning song or something, and they could have made a whole thing of that. Like, oh no, this person's so good that they had to give the points to the UK, even though they hate them.
And it's funny that they say that everyone hates the UK. I mean, especially with what's going on at the moment with Brexit. I mean, I'm pretty sure Europe does fucking hate the UK. So you guys are out. Well, we're keeping Australia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get rid of them. Oh, the UK would be devastated if they dropped from Eurovision. They fucking love Eurovision.
Exactly. What about you, Matiu?
Well, the whole way through, I kept thinking, this is one of the few countries, Iceland is one of the few countries that permits whaling. And I was like, and his dad does a lot of fishing, and I was like, I wonder what boat they're going to get on. Please get on the whaling boat. And they see 2 whales jump out of the water, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they're going to go, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, ding, dong.
So you pro whaling?
I want some whale meat because it's wide and long. Give me some whale meat.
Oh,
that was funnier than any of the jokes in the movie.
It's funnier than most things Matiu ever says, even.
It's true. What about
Mine
you, Liz?
was Mine was less about the movie and more about the actors. This brings me a little bit of a broken heart to say, but I wondered if Will Ferrell should just maybe hang up his hat already, because this was disappointing. Like, Sam, you know me. I know you. We like a good few previous Will Ferrell movies. I think Anchorman quotes have come out of our mouths on more than one occasion in life. You know, he's had some amazing films, but this is
old
just
as
not
shit,
it, mate. Yeah,
So
and I can't think
old.
of one that's been recent that he's done that I've liked. So yeah, I kind of think he should just be like, do you know what? I'm going to go out. I'm going to go retire, do some charity work. I don't care. Just
He's supposed to be like
anymore.
he's supposed to be like 2 or 3 years older than Rachel McAdams in this film. He looks at least 30 years
he
older.
looks
Yeah.
so older.
the
Saying that,
age
though,
difference.
He looks older than his dad.
He does. He looks older than Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan's
I
a
did
silver
think that.
fox, man.
They
I was
needed
like,
to play
wait, you're
a
trying to sell me
skeleton,
on him being the son? Nah.
How old was Pierce when he had Will? Like 5?
He was about negative 25.
He was a virile man, so he was probably, getting it pretty early on in his life, I'd say.
They had to use
True.
aging technology on Pierce Brosnan because he would look to make him look like his dad.
So true. All right, that moves us over to question number 4, which is the first of our Patreon questions. This question comes courtesy of the amazing man that is Dave Baker. Dave has 2 questions that he gives to us. The one that we are going with this week is, which 2 characters from this film would you guys want to review at your house party? I'll also point out that Dave also has his own Patreon at patreon.com/yourfavorite. And on it, he posts a ton of awesome content you guys should all check out. He's the man. Awesome. Yeah. So which 2 characters would you like? Matiu.
I had Miss Grease because she's hot. And I thought she worked really well with... I can't remember his name. Mr. Russia, Dan Stevens.
Oh, so you want Petrov
Miss
and
Grease.
Mita?
Yeah. Nah, they
Lemtov, sorry.
Yeah,
Lemtov,
they they try to break up a fabulous couple, but actually they're quite friendly. They got up there and made some friends really early and showed it. They wanted everyone to have a good time. So I want to have a good time.
They're very welcoming.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the sort of sinister side of it, but they're not really, They not even the villains by then, really.
No, they look after each other and they look after the main hero and heroine, I suppose.
Yeah.
I want to have Sigrid because I think we'd have a good time and she'd be fun and she'd like sing and stuff. And I want.
Well, what about when you go to the bar and she buys? The ding dong. What about when you go to the bar and Sigrid buys herself 2 drinks and she gets you nothing?
Yeah, clearly. That's right,
me.
it's at a house party. If it's at a house party, it doesn't matter. I'll get my own for free. And there you go. She'd obviously get drunk and she'd be a hell of a time. And the yeah ding dong guy would be making the dance floor happen all the time because he'd just be constantly be going, play yeah ding dong. And everyone would be like, okay, and we'd all be dancing again. So
I reckon he'd get a bit tiresome after a while, especially when he sort of like...
play yeah ding dong.
Yeah. Hearing that over and over again. Plus he'd have a whole bunch of parking fines that he has to pay off. So
he'd stay for a while and then he'd be dragged out by the cops because he'd be parked illegally and they'd have to take him to prison. I don't know.
It's true. The ones I want, Katiana, man, she knows how to throw in a party. Yeah. She knows how to heat things up.
Do you want her to show up in ghost form or do you want her to show up in pre-ghost form?
I don't know, but also point out that she's played by Demi Lovato, and Demi Lovato knows how to party as well.
Yeah.
It took me so long to work out that was Demi Lovato. I was like, she's really familiar. I can't work it out. And I finally looked it up, and I was like, it is Demi Lovato. Like, it just really weirded me out. I think as Demi Lovato, as the ghost should be great in the winter, like for a winter party, because then you wouldn't need like a fire pit.
Nah, she's a shit
Wasn't
ghost.
she still
She'll
on
turn
fire?
up when you're in the most awkward moment. And you'll be, you'll be on the toilet, but she'll go, hey, watch out for such and such. He's going to kill us.
No, you'd be
just
about to kiss a girl, and she'd be like, hey, Matiu, that girl really likes you. And the girl would be standing there going, why are you talking to someone? And walk off. And you'd be like, you just totally lost me, this hot girl.
So unhelpful.
Yeah,
she was one. Secret's yellow. Rachel McAdams is just a charming, delightful character. Oh, Rachel McAdams. Secret is just a charming, delightful character.
She is. She's such a cutie. Oh, I love her.
So genuine and nice and supportive. And yeah, I just think she's awesome. Yeah. That moves us over to question number 5, which is also a Patreon question. This question comes courtesy of the amazing man that is Julio of the Contrarians podcast in which they rage against the Rotten Tomatoes machine. So they take a film that's universally beloved and argue for why it's crap while giving a rundown on the film. Alternatively, they take a film that's not very well beloved and talk about how amazing some of the stuff in it is. It's always a great listen, and then they obviously offer their honest thoughts at the end. So what would he like to know there, Liz?
Question 5 was, what's your most controversial opinion about this film?
It would have been a better film if Rachel McAdams was not in it.
Fuck off!
No way, she's the best part.
Saves this film.
She doesn't save this film. She can't sing. If she could sing.
Compared to Will Ferrell?
It burns but he's legitimate. Because he legitimately sings.
Mark Hamill can't use the Force, but he's still fucking rocking it in fucking Star
But if
Wars.
someone could use the Force, it would have been better than Mark Hamill. Yeah, no,
sure.
She's charming, but you could have changed her out of this film, and it would have been better. No one would have watched this film if it wasn't for Will Ferrell.
That's funny because my controversial opinion is that Will Ferrell was the miscast. And they should have put someone else in instead of him.
So was mine. When you started going on about how...
I'm not here to make friends, guys. I'm here to tell you Rachel McAdams sucks in this film.
No, see, look, I think they should have put in Alexander Skarsgård as him because he's already like Scandinavian. He's got that kind of awkward, earnest vibe. And he is way more appealing, and he would have just been way better and more age-appropriate looking.
What does Rachel McAdams bring to this film? Like, what does she bring? She just brings like, I'm pretty.
Charm,
I'm pretty. Everybody,
charisma.
Hilarious.
It's so hard to be
so much more than you could ever bring to anything.
Yeah. Pretty much everything you
I can bring a big head to. Not many people
Will
can bring
Ferrell
a
bring
giant
to this
head
film?
on the script.
Will Ferrell brings lack of comedy, poor delivery. disappointingness.
He sucks, and that was my controversial opinion as well. It's like we scrap Will Ferrell, and we've got a really good movie here.
What movie do you have? Is it a comedy? Is it just a movie
it's
about
a comedy.
Rachel? You could,
But like we need someone else in that role.
Can you name three good movies? Oh, well, actually, one good movie
Are you totally
outside
going
of
off topic here?
Mean Girls and The Notebook on Rachel McAdams. There is none.
Wedding
Not
Crashes.
even one.
Yeah, Wedding Crashes.
Yeah, that's still. I don't even remember
I liked
her in
Wedding
that.
Crashes.
Yeah. About Time.
About Time. Oh, that
Doctor
was-
Strange.
Actually, you're right. Doctor Strange and About Time. Oh, I take
Oh,
it back.
Time Traveler's
I'll
Wife,
take it
she was
back.
good in.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's like honestly
She's,
sometimes the best thing in a lot of films.
She's a good
Yeah.
actor in terrible movies.
Like as I said, scrap Will Ferrell. I don't know who you replace him with because you need someone that's kind of dorky and tall.
Alexander Skarsgård.
No, he's too attractive.
Perfect. No, but you could make him look a bit uglier or
Chris
something.
Hemsworth.
What about
Could
no,
Chris
nah,
Hemsworth
too attractive. What about Bill Skarsgård, the one that played It?
No, isn't he the one that played against Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia?
You're thinking of Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many fucking Skarsgård.
No,
You're thinking of Stellar Skateboard.
there can be many Skarsgård.
Personally, and this is going to be controversial because everyone knows my opinions on The Notebook, but I'm going back with Ryan Gosling. Put Ryan Gosling in this role against Rachel McAdams.
No one
a
ever agrees with my
terrible choice.
controversial opinions.
No one ever.
Because they're so controversial. That's why.
Ryan Gosling's fucking scandy looking. He'd be perfect.
He's terrible choice. He's way
Yeah,
hotter than
he
Alexander
would-
Skarsgård.
Yeah, Dan
Nah, you
Stevens.
can make
He
him
looks
look
like he's
goofy.
been photoshopped.
Yeah,
No, he
Dan
looks like he's been
Stevens wouldn't. How do you put Dan Stevens up against Ryan Gosling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are the same guy. They literally are the same
Yeah.
person.
Well,
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens is like the poor man's Ryan Gosling.
Dan Stevens is fucking awesome. Anyway, moves us over to question number 6, which is also a Patreon question. This question comes courtesy of the amazing woman that is Emily Higgins. And what she would like to know is what? Matiu?
Question number 6: which side character would make for the best spin-off movie?
I already know you guys are going to hate my answer based on a previous reaction to this. I want to see a kids' movie about the elves.
Oh my god!
I think that'd be awesome. Like the elves just
God.
causing all kinds of havoc.
There-
And you could
there's
put in all
already-
these adult jokes that the kids wouldn't get, so the adults wouldn't mind watching it. Like they could kill someone, but in like a cutesy way or something. I don't know.
There's already
I think
a
the elves would be
film-
hilarious.
There's already a film like that. It's called Annabelle, and it's R18, and no kids are allowed to watch it.
Oh,
Well, it's not the film I want, is it? Because I want a kids one.
They murder people. They murder,
Yeah,
straight
it'll
up
be
murder
hilarious. I'd love it.
in a good way. In a good way, they murder bad people.
So anyway, that's my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Lemtov. Why not? He's about the only side
Yeah.
character I found enjoyable in this. What about you?
I went with Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, yeah.
Man
fuck,
About
that's a good
Town.
answer. Damn it. Silver Fox, yeah.
He's
The Silver Fox Diaries, that would have been really good.
And
I'm going to go with Pierce Brosnan.
and if he had a platform, any of
No,
the
you
porn
can't
platforms.
steal his. You went with Lemtov. Lemtov's been your favourite character the whole time.
No, not
You're
really.
obsessed with Lemtov.
He's not been my favourite character, but it was just an awesome performance by Dan Stevens, really. Anywho, that moves us over to question number 7, also a Patreon question. This question comes courtesy of Dan Breddick of the Netflix and Swill podcast, who you guys would have heard on last week to Independence Day. You guys should be already listening to the podcast. If you're not, follow the link below. And what Dan would like to know is where would you guys have inserted Blink-182 song, All the Small Things, into this film?
In this song montage when they're all at the Russians' house party. Like I feel like
the
he could have
song-along.
easily thrown it in there. Yeah, the sing along. Yeah, song along, whatever. They could have easily thrown that in there.
Yeah, that is a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Now my one sounds a bit shit, but hey.
That's right.
well, that's
that's
all
why
you
I jumped in first.
But no, that is a perfect one. But I had, after the elves kill that dude, and they just come out, all the small things.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good. That would be quite good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've often gone on here and talked about how I find this like a complete sellout piece of like artless trash of a song. And I don't think it's that bad, but that's what people are saying. I'm fucking calling it. Anyway, I would have had it playing when he's driving all the Americans around through Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have worked.
Yeah. Tie into
Yeah,
that
I
sort
like
of
it.
like American commercialism.
Musicals.
Yeah,
There's
I
so
like
many
that.
opportunities.
So many. Moves us over to question number 8. And what is it there, Liz?
Okay, question 8. What character do you wish had gotten punched in the dick?
Based on your most controversial opinions, I think I might be right here. It's got to be Lars Eriksson, right? Like he's the big goof at any
Yep.
point. At what point do you punch him? Do you punch him after he leaves Sigrid?
Yeah.
After during the.
I think we can all agree. Like when he got to the airport, someone should have
Yeah.
gone, "Why the hell are you leaving? You just won. You need to
Yeah,
go back,"
it's-
and then punched him in the dick.
This
Yeah.
question
Clearly
is
that
pretty
should have
much. At what point would you want to punch Lars in the dick?
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
his hot ass maybe sister tries to kiss him heaps of times. That's the point, or is
Yeah.
it? Or after the bomb explodes on the boat, and he's like, "Yeah, we're in Eurovision."
I got that part. That was fair. I would have been excited too. No, it was definitely when he was at the airport, leaving her behind.
Or what about when he starts tuning her out at that, when they're doing the rehearsals and stuff like that? He tunes her out a few times at the few different rehearsals that they're at. But there's that one where he's like, "Oh, I can have sex. I'm going to have a big sex party. I'm going to have sex with that guy and that guy."
He probably needed to be punched in the dick at that point. Like he probably needed like a cold shower type style.
Yeah, calm him down. My answer was his dad. He was a bit of a...
Yeah, he was a dick.
He was a bit of a dick for a lot of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, be supportive. Like, sure, your son's a complete fuck up, but at least support him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matiu knows what I'm talking
think
about.
Daddy issues are coming through, Sam.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Anywho, that moves us over to question number 9. What is it there, Matiu?
Question number 9. What quote from this film would be the worst thing for someone to hear straight after they finish having sex?
I'm going to go with Graham Norton's comment of, "Okay, so not as bad as we expected."
Why? That's a compliment. I've said that to multiple men. Like, I mean, is that not?
When you say that, Liz, who is the we that you were referring to?
Oh, I think we both agreed at the start that Kiwi men are terrible in bed, right? So then I was like, wow, that wasn't as bad as we expected. Suck it. No, I'm mostly joking. Sort of. Okay, so I would say I'm going to go with my favourite line of the whole film, just because of the weirdness of it. The elves went too far.
That was up there.
No matter what, like that would be a weird thing for someone to say at the end of having sex.
I thought the obvious one
I'm into it.
The obvious one was rich, hairless Russian guy with a huge dingle-dong came between us.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
I don't mind hearing that.
What about...
Especially if he's hairless. That sounds great.
What about, "No, I'm not done. I hate you. I hate your guts."
Well, yeah, that'd be bad to hear because they aren't done, and you don't want to be a selfish lover.
Exactly. I don't want to be a selfish asshole.
No, that was the only one I'd written down, but I just loved it, so there we are.
Awesome. Cool. And that moves us down to our final question of any questions that can be applied to any film. This is the Fuzzy Dan question, which is a question that he threw out there during our Point Break episode. Fuzzy Dan from Shaken Not Nerd. You guys should be all listening to their podcast too. And what Dan asked on that podcast is, if we replace every character in this film with Muppets except for one, who are we keeping in?
So I'm showing Sam that I put down Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell? Or do you mean Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
No, Will Ferrell.
Ferrell? I don't know
wasn't
Will
even in the
Ferrell
film.
was in this. My rating's just gone up.
Hey, no, but really, he's the only person, like I said, your controversial opinions were shit, and, I nailed it with Rachel McAdams being taken out. And actually, Will Ferrell, like I said, he was the only interesting person in this film, to be honest. Like, he brought the controversy. He brought
the controversy. That's what you're looking for in a film, is controversy.
Yeah. He was the antagonist, and
No, he was the protagonist.
He was supposed to be the protagonist, but he was definitely the antagonist.
he was definitely the antagonist. And
It is
if you took him out of this film, it would have been terrible. You take Rachel McAdams out, it would have been, the same.
Nah.
I'm just going to jump ahead of you, Liz. I'm sorry. I had Will Ferrell as well, but simply because I think if you replace everyone in this movie with Muppets, it would make the movie terrible. So why not just leave him in there and just complete the full terribleness of this movie?
Go full Sherlock Holmes on this.
Yeah, keep the worst part in and then just make it even worse. That's what I'm saying. Might have been a good film.
I went with something totally different because I just went with the one character that plays themselves. I think you keep Graham Norton in because I think that would be quite entertaining. Just Graham Norton, like commentating on it completely normally without acknowledging everyone else's Muppets. And I think that Muppets could deliver the emotional range that Lars Erickson
There it is.
film.
Oh, you lost me.
Frankly. So, yep, everyone else Muppets.
The
except
Muppets
Graham
could
Norton.
deliver the emotional range that Lars brings to this film. Yes, I completely agree with you, Liz. 100%.
100%.
Graham Norton was
Absolutely.
a great pick. That is, his
Thank you.
everything. You kind of bought into it, didn't you? Every time he was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good," and he was
Yeah, it
like,
felt
"Oh,
like
it's
a
going to be
movie-
terrible."
It felt like a movie where you're going to get a bunch of cameos. And they did bring a few cool cameos in, but not nearly as many as I was hoping for. So I was pleasantly surprised when Graham Norton turned up because I thought that was
No,
just
he was good.
exactly the kind of cameo that you didn't predict, but was really perfect.
Okie doke. That leads us to our personal questions. Who's first up this week? Matiu.
Question number 11. During the film, Will Ferrell, like I said, talks about going sex crazy during the film. So if you went sex crazy, who are the 3 people that you would call out to have sex with and why?
Okay, so mine was pretty easy to decide on. First of all was Eric Erickson, because Pierce Brosnan can get it. Not a huge fan of his acting.
How old is he? He must be 90.
And he knows his shit. You think that man wouldn't know where he was in bed? 100%.
Hey, you say that, but he looked incredibly awkward kissing that woman at the end. Watch it again.
He was thinking of me. He was thinking of me. And
being awkward.
What, to stop himself getting an erection? Yeah, probably.
Anyway, my second choice may surprise you, given how much I've ripped on him in this film, in this podcast. But Will Ferrell, just because I really liked his golden locks. I just thought he really suited the golden long hair in this film.
Straighten those curls, and he's in with Liz.
Yeah. So honestly, I've always thought he was funny prior to this film. Not so much in this film, but I'd still do him. And finally, it'd be the Russian Lemtov, if he'd have me. But obviously he would, because there are no gays in Russia.
Yeah.
I'm a lion lover.
Yeah. He was clearly going to be good in bed, and he was hairless. So,
and we know what to expect. We saw those Greek statues.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
They all have your face.
So,
oh, yeah, funny. I feel like Matu's just asked this question so he can answer it himself. So why don't you tell us?
I don't have an answer.
Oh, bullshit. Okay, well, I don't believe you, but hypothetically, if I was Lars Eriksson in this film and I was single and I was able to have a sex party, I would probably go with the lady emptying the trash can, Kevin Swain, he can get it, and then the guy with the iPad, Theo.
So you'd go the same options as he did.
Well, Lena gave me the fingers, so there's no way Lena's going to go for it.
Yeah, I'd probably go with
I knew you were going to have an answer.
I'll probably go with Yaya Ding Dong Man, one of the elves, and the bearded Eurovision singer.
Weirdest threesome ever.
You wouldn't go with all of them? You wouldn't go with Sigrid and then Mita, the Greek woman, and then one of the cameramen so that you could prove it actually happened? Because no one would believe you, bro.
I've been with
He has to touch your ding dong or else it doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about parker tickets all night. Right. Question number 12. Why do Europeans hate American tourists? So we see this throughout the film. Will Ferrell, he makes fun of all those American tourists, and then in the end he makes friends with them, but he still hates them.
No, he doesn't. He's definitely not friends with them.
No,
he's just showing up and he's pissed off. He's just trying to be polite European, but not.
But it's because everyone hates American tourists. Who doesn't hate American tourists? Sorry,
reckon-
Americans. They're always really loud and obnoxious.
These ones weren't.
I'm sorry.
They
They look
hats
pretty
backwards.
obnoxious.
They were Abercrombie and Fitch.
I don't even think they were that bad in this film. I think, they're like, hey, do you know where Game of Thrones is
Yeah, they
shot?
went the really bad ones. Yeah.
You know, that's all he asked. You know what I mean? He's just like, hey, excuse me. And then he's like just a complete dick to him. And he's like, what's the problem, guy? Anyway, basically because they go to Europe and they treat it like a big party town.
Oh, yes, because Australians and New Zealanders are only in Europe for the culture.
I'm literally, I know we do the exact same thing, but I'm literally using just the line that he says, hey, you come over to Europe and you treat it like a big party town.
I'm going to apologize to a few American viewers. I've literally said...
Viewers? Well, how do you think this podcast goes out?
Well, they got to look it up, right? They have to look with their eyes to get, Hey, but no, I'm going to apologize to some of the American listeners. I have said a few times that I'm an American tourist, especially when I know that I've done something wrong. That's my go-to.
Oh, no, see, I say I'm Australian.
I'm sorry, I'm
always
from America. When I push in line at the immigration and I hand over my New Zealand passport and I say, sorry, guys, all you guys that are behind me, I'm an American tourist. That's why I'm pushing in front.
You should just roll up and say, hi, I'm an arsehole. It's way more obvious.
Yeah.
I'll pretend to be Australian a few times as well. I can't really say shit at this point.
I knew it. It's such a convenient play.
Kiwis are
they don't
definitely
know the
assholes.
difference.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 13. There were some amazing outfits in this film.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
I like some of them.
Especially all of the ones that Will Ferrell wore.
No.
So what outfit was the worst?
That's an idea. They should have replaced Will Ferrell with Colin Farrell. That would have been hilarious.
And then Matiu might have got his name right.
Exactly. Okay, so most of the outfits were pretty horrendous.
Tremendous.
Horrendous.
Yeah, they were tremendous.
Yeah. So some of these outfits were absolutely horrendous. I mean, there was that one jumpsuit. Most of the costumes that Will Ferrell was wearing.
You have to pick one. Don't name all of them.
All of them. I'm just going with all of them. But then I'm going to go with Secret Scarf because he almost killed her and him.
Her outfit was nice that time, apart from the scarf. I like the scarf.
Cigarette scarf, though.
I mean, I didn't like the scarf, but I like the rest of it.
Wheel.
Yeah, so I disagree. I actually like some of the outfits, but I didn't like the one that she ends up ripping up. That was a fucking travesty. So I don't blame her for ripping it up. And once she ripped it off, it was actually slightly better if you took off all the frayed endings or whatever. Yeah.
What about every outfit the Iceland people were wearing? Is that enough? Is anyone on this podcast from Iceland? I want to know. Is that what you wear? It's like
Do we have any listeners?
365.
I don't think we've got any listeners from Iceland.
365 days of Christmas is in Iceland. You've got a Christmas jumper every single day. Like, do they just wear Christmas
the Nordic jumpers. They're lovely. I like those.
Do you?
You're so mean.
Anyway, that moves me over to my questions. First up, it's joked about it throughout the entirety of the film, but I want to know, what do you guys reckon? Is she his sister?
No, she's not.
Why not?
She literally
Why is her mother and his dad like so anti each other, and why do we never see her father? Come on, man.
Oh, because he's a fucking player.
And okay, anyway, Liz has already answered this question. She already knows the answer. What's the answer, Liz?
Yeah. She could well be his sister because her last name is Eric's daughter, and that daughter is daughter. So the only way that it could
That's
not
a
be
weak
him
linkage.
is if there's another Eric in Scandinavia, which I think we all know is pretty unlikely. So
I think you'll find that there's
I don't know what you're talking about, much.
million
Yeah, what have you got to talk in a town of 2,500 people? How many Eric Ericksons do you reckon there are?
There's Eric and Eve.
Well, he doesn't have to be Eric
and Eve.
Erickson, but he could just could be another Eric.
It's not Adam and Eve, it's Eric and Eve. And so
Scandinavia,
everyone is
probably.
Eric's son, Eric's son, Eric Man, Eric Bang. No, I don't know where I was going with that one. Why would they be? Why would they? They're not though. We know they're not because
How?
his dad says he tried heaps of times, and she
Maybe he
said
was
no.
drunk.
But anyway, but it's true.
He was drunk. He was always trying. It was her that said no.
But even then, okay, all that being said, by the end of the film, they are brother and sister. Technically, they're stepbrother and sister.
This is true. Very well done.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
Excellent. Okay, moving on to my second question. As we see in the film, Demi Lovato plays Katiana, who dies on a boat. Katiana gets blown up to smithereens. She then comes back to haunt Will Ferrell, which we've been talking about a few times. And she's basically burning on fire the entire time and then provides some useless-ass advice. But I want to know from you guys, what dead singer, like what famous dead singer, would you love it if they came back and started offering you advice?
I was actually disappointed that in the movie it wasn't ABBA, and then I looked it up and they were actually not dead. So that would have been a bit weird if one of them was the ghost. I thought they were, so never mind. But I have a second, like a follow-up question to decide on my final answer. Is the ghost like tangible? Can I touch them?
No.
Can I feel them? Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
well,
no,
in that
no.
case,
Feel them.
So if I could have felt them, I'd go
them? Do you wanna
Elvis
have sex
Presley
with a-
and we would bang all the time. Elvis Presley.
Oh, it is Elvis.
What, a fat Elvis?
Which
No,
BK?
I'd pick him at his heyday. Not
You
when he
don't get to
died.
pick him.
I'm
Look
sure
at
when he
Katiana in this movie. She's on fire. You'd have Elvis, the one that shit himself and died on the toilet.
Okay, in that case, I'm going with Buddy Holly. Although, now that you've pointed that out, I was all excited for Buddy Holly because Mum introduced me to him when I was little, and I just love him and his music. I think he's super cool. He's got this whole cute nerd aesthetic going on. But he wasn't a plane crash, so I'm guessing he wouldn't look very attractive either. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going with is it Jim Morrison, the Doors guy? Like he would still probably be attractive.
Yeah. He died
At least
from
he'd be good to look at.
He died from potential alcohol poisoning / heroin
yeah.
overdose or something like that in a bathtub. So yeah, he's probably your
He'd be
best.
a bit rumpled, but yeah, I'm going with that.
All right, I'm going to go with Tupac because he'd just give me street cred if I was standing next to him at any point, even if he was, and you know, I could legitimately say, "Hey, I know Tupac."
You know, no one else can see him.
Yeah, but I'd know him, and I could say all these things that happened. Yeah, I really did die in that car because I got shot heaps of times, and I can't believe people keep thinking I'm alive because I'm definitely dead. And also, this is what happened one night, and I could tell those stories. It would be so cool.
Tupac would be absolutely wasted on you.
What?
He's way too cool for you.
No, he's not. He's not way too cool for me. He's exactly the amount of cool for me.
Yeah, way too much. Okay, so that moves down to my final question. We've talked about the owls, but we haven't really talked about the other antagonist of this film, which is basically the head of Iceland Eurovision, or one of the guys in Iceland Eurovision, who's basically saying the whole time, if we win it, we'll be bankrupted. We can't afford to host it, all that sort of stuff. So he's constantly trying to get these guys to lose in a lot of ways. He blew up the boat. He then, when Will Ferrell looks like he actually stands a chance of winning, debatable, he decides to murder him in front of the elves. He decides to wrap a garrote around his neck and strangle him. And then somehow, mystically, a knife appears in his back, killing him. Will Ferrell then lays him on the ground.
Teeny tiny knife.
Teeny tiny knife, that's correct. Takes the teeny tiny knife out of his back, waves it around a bit, puts his handprints all over him, and then drops the knife. I want to know from you guys, do you reckon he's going to jail for murder of that dude?
No, he's not.
You reckon he's going to stand up in court and go, these elves fucking murdered this dude. These elves murdered this guy, man.
For international listeners, there's a thing called tapu, which is sacred sites, pretty much.
Ooh.
And at a sacred site, if someone fucks up and something goes wrong, like old mate with his blowing up a whole, he literally how when people
He blew up
not
a whole
gonna
ship of people.
understand- Yeah, he blew up a whole ship of people. How is someone going to overlook that for the fact that he got stabbed in the back? He deserved to get stabbed in the back, and everyone loves unraveling a mystery about a person that's done something, in a high-ranking position that's done something extremely bad. And this is one of those
The
cases
fall from
where,
grace.
where it's going to happen. It's going to all come out. He's dead. He hasn't really paid for his crimes, but he got stabbed in the back. Everyone's going to be happy, and Will Ferrell is going to be the one that sent him to his final destination.
He's going to be the hero.
Yeah,
you reckon?
Well, he didn't because it was the elves. But hey, the elves are the elves are the awesome people that live in the hills.
I agree with you. I don't think he's going to jail, but I have a completely different reason, and that's because the elves are on it. Like, no one's ever finding that body. There's going to be like an array of like 1,000 teeny tiny elves that carry this body off and like chop him up and eat him or something. So he's just going to go missing, and no one's ever going to find him again. These
That's why you want the spin-off
The elves
movie.
went too far. Yeah, man. The elves
You
go
wanna
too
see-
far.
Liz wants a movie of elves eating people. There we go. That's a good horror film.
Is that really the weirdest thing that I've ever said?
No, nowhere near it.
No. All right. It's my turn now to ask you my questions. Question 17. What was your favourite performance of the whole film?
It's got to be that power ballad, Husavik, where they start singing Icelandic. Oh, that was beautiful. It was music to my ears. It was.
Well, it was music to everyone's ears.
Yeah,
it was music.
This is a song.
Correct, it was music.
This was a song
Well done,
that
Matiu.
could legitimately be, if you heard it on a top 10 chart in the next couple of weeks, it's the only new music that's going to come out. Like, what else is coming out? No, nothing else is coming out at the moment. There's no movies. There's no music.
There's no movies. This movie just came out, right?
You like Hometown, the Hometown song. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my one as well. The Cigarette, my hometown
really?
one. That she sung at the end.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was
Yeah, it was
beautiful,
beautiful,
Liz.
yeah.
I absolutely thought Sam was going to be like, yeah, yeah, ding dong.
Nah.
That was a
Hey, yeah, ding dong!
Everybody loved that song.
It was a bit repetitive, but yeah, it was still a good song.
Okay, so you guys actually think that Iceland should have won the Eurovision?
Totally.
Oh, they should have, but they couldn't because they were
Terrible.
disqualified.
They're terrible. If they won it, it would have been
Oh, it was great. He
Even
barely
Miss
sang,
Greece.
right? So she was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he barely sang, so it was quite a good song. Even then, I'm still like, why don't they get to win? Because they didn't play the
She
song.
didn't
they
sing
picked.
at all.
No, that's the rule. That's the rule of Eurovision. You can't like get in and then sing a different song.
Yeah, which is bullshit. Instead, I'm a lion
it's dumb.
lover, I'm on the savannah, don't you know? How the fuck did that win, man? That was insane.
That was me. That was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good song.
Because he was so sexy and hairless.
And they're racing through the streets of Edinburgh on that mini. It was awesome.
Sure.
Question 18. Which country do you think came out of the whole film looking the worst?
It's got to be Iceland.
Yeah,
That was
I felt like it
terrible.
was real
They were-
racist against Iceland.
Oh, I don't think it was racist. It was just that particular group. Like, Katiana would have been an awesome performer, and she would have done really well. And she probably would have lost because you've got to win the votes. It's all about votes. It's not about how good you are or how bad you are. It's about how many votes you can get. And they got the sympathy vote. But they were terrible. They were terrible. They
Just fine, apart from the near death.
Yeah, Sigrid Despect got decapitated, and then there was a hamster wheel that rolled into the crowd, and it could have killed a million people. And they finished the song with blood all over their faces.
Yeah, or dirt and...
So yeah, that
It's
came
terrible.
off pretty bad.
yeah, what he said.
It's actually not what I meant. I meant like of the whole film, people watching it.
Russia,
You know, which one would they
no
look at and
gays.
go, man, that's
Come on,
a
Russia.
shitty country.
Come on,
Yeah,
Russia. There's
that's
gays.
terrible.
You've got some gays.
Yeah, reality, like you can't just pretend that nobody's gay. It doesn't work like that. So question 18, what New Zealand act would perform at Eurovision and how would they do?
Yeah, I mean, if we were going to send anyone, I mean, we've got some talented singers and artists and stuff like that. I mean, obviously Lord and all that are pretty popular, but you sort of want someone that hasn't really cracked the international stage. So I'm going to go with Holly Smith, who's an incredibly talented singer. Wilson performer, written some great songs. And as far as how would New Zealand do, I mean, well, the Eurovision is based on points getting given to you by other countries who, like your performance at the same time of sort of boosting you up sort of thing, hence why the joke about no one likes the UK. And I just don't think New Zealand is... Everyone forgets us. We get left off maps all the time. So
No, Jacinda. Jacinda's got us as like everyone loves us right now.
Yeah, but I know, but like, but at the same time, I just don't. Maybe a bit of xenophobia. They'd be like, shouldn't be in this competition. New Zealand definitely shouldn't be in this competition. You know what I mean? And they'd try and support their neighbours. So I reckon Australia would probably give us some points, but I don't know if anyone else would. Maybe Ireland. We've got a good relationship with them.
We've got
what about you, Matiu?
We've got some people that I love to put up, like Stan Walker, who won the
our
New Zealand's
version
Got Talent?
of New Zealand Idol, was it?
No, it was Australian Idol. But I think I think you nailed it before. It's Lord. Lord would legitimately be, a competitive performer.
Oh yeah, she could bring that, and she'd bring the Eurovision. She could do the sort of style,
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't think it was like that. I thought Eurovision was just amateur singers.
It is amateur singers, but they all you have to do is.
Lord's had like a #1 hit in America. You can't really put her up.
You just have to have a song that no one's heard before in a specific time period,
right?
And
maybe Lord went before she got famous.
Yeah, so you got to bring this
when
spectacular costume. You've got to bring the performance, and she can do that. But it comes down to votes, and no one from this hemisphere will ever win Eurovision. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, given that it's Eurovision, that seems fair. Yeah. All right, so my final question, 19. So right at the start of the film, we see Sigrid and Lars doing like their Volcano Man, and it's got this whole theme of like jagged, amazing rocks and stuff like that. It's an amazing theme. And I'd like to know, the started okay and then it got really bad. But my question is, if you had to go on Eurovision tomorrow and come up with your own theme and song and stuff, what would you choose? Because look, I would probably go like a Kiwi theme, like do some whole like sheep thing or like farmland and sing about like grass. I don't know. What about you guys? Come on.
Oh, I've got nothing for this. What's the question again? We've got a theme.
It's going to be some New Zealand Kiwiana, like pretty much on the farm, looking after sheep.
What are you doing for the sheep? No, don't answer it.
Gloves, Australians. But hey, working hard and having some beers. And,
that's about it.
Going home to our wives and not sheep, honestly.
You could steal that, is it John Clark song, you don't know how lucky we are in this country. You don't know how lucky we are.
Hey, that's a good point. Like, and during the film in Iceland, they have that picture where the 2 whales jump out of the water. And in New Zealand, we have about 10 whales jumping out of the water every day. And, there's no white cloud. There's just...
Those are dolphins, bro.
We win all the rugby, Australia. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, you'd have to keep it rugby themed. I mean, that's probably the only thing that New Zealand's well known for, so probably some sort of rugby theme. Wouldn't be so brave as to do a one-man haka. Every time I've seen someone try and do a one-man haka, it's always been the worst thing I've ever seen. Usually some drunk guy outside of an Australasian pub in London or somewhere around the world. That's probably about the best I think we could come up with. Yeah. Anywho, talking about songs, that moves us down to our final question, which again is a new Patreon question. This question comes courtesy of the amazing man that is Christiani. Thank you, Chris. You're the fucking man, bro. I love the song because you actually offered a little bit more options than having to insert Blink-182 song into this film. Instead, Chris would like to know what song would have been inserted into this movie and why, and like whereabouts, whatever. Yeah.
Well, Bulls on Parade, and I put it back on when they were in the car with the Americans going to Eurovision. I thought that would be awesome if they played that on the way.
Nah, that's definitely all the small things time, bro.
At the same time as the Blink-182 song?
So pretty much over all this. Who would rather hear All the Small Things or Bulls on Parade?
Oh, Bulls on Parade by a mile. Rage Against the Machine, my favourite band of all time. So, I mean, fuck. It's a no-brainer for me.
I decided that, I think I would absolutely put in a song from Aqua because they're Danish, so they'd fit right in. And they had so many good songs, and they had that, whole campy theme with them. So you could have done, Dr. Jones or Barbie Girl or something. 100%. Chuck them in.
All 2 songs of theirs.
They've got, 2 albums, thank you. They have Aquarium.
Dr. Jones and Barbie Girl.
They had Aquarium and they had Aquarius. And just because I can't think of the name of the song off the top of my head doesn't mean that I didn't know all of the
apparently
words.
Googling.
No, those are the names of the albums. I used to have them both on cassette tape.
albums. Oh, but name
Yeah,
another
I
song.
used to have
an
them both.
album?
I
you're
think
the
you'll
one.
find.
Look, she's Googling. We can see your eyes. We can see your eyes.
Turn back time.
Turn back time.
Isn't there like
Know
Belinda
that
Carlisle?
you
or
could
something?
turn back time.
Insert Marcus
Look, I
and
used to
insert
have them
Marcus.
on
I'm
tape
sending as
and
many
sing
Marcus.
them. Okay, shut up. The end.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a big ABBA fan. Well, I'm just a big guy in general, but I would have inserted Dancing Queen into the scene where Sigrid's dancing in the bar, where she's getting really shit-faced, and she's like, oh, I love this song. I love ABBA. I reckon that would have been a perfect spot for it.
Mate.
Just a little bit
Yeah,
of
that would have worked.
like a Euro dance remix of Dancing Queen. That's
Definitely
what I
a
would have
remix. That would have been sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Good answer.
And
Oh my
that's
god,
it.
are we done?
Yes, thank God. Fuck, I'm sick of talking about this fucking film.
Me too.
Oh, you guys have loved it. Hey, I'm glad you guys have loved this
terrible.
film because it's a
This was your
classic.
choice too,
It's a
you fucking
classic.
That's a
asshole.
terrible
It's
choice.
an absolute classic.
Terrible choice.
And musicals, we should keep doing them.
You're off
Okay,
the
so we're never
podcast.
letting Matiu choose any other movies, right? We're
Maciu's
never
never
letting him
picked-
choose.
Hey, listen, there's no other movies. You guys have to realize there's no movies coming on. This is the one. This is
Yes, there is.
No,
Hey
there's
Sam,
not.
do you think that we should do that Palm Springs movie with Andy Samberg?
Yes, we are absolutely doing Palm Springs.
There are zero
That is
movies.
next week's episode, in fact. Thank you for transitioning, Liz. Next week's episode is the film Palm Springs. Is it comedy, sci-fi, something else, starring Andy Samberg?
Oh, Andy Samberg's
Yeah.
in it.
Ah, you're
It's
out
a
right
Groundhog
now.
Day film.
Yeah, it's a Groundhog Day film.
I better
so-
be in because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking
No,
love
you're
Andy
definitely in for
Samberg.
that.
I'm in too. Hey, Liz, we'll be here together. Hey, I'll see you again.
Much is about to black out drunk. Anywho, thank you to these guys, well, one of these guys, for joining me.
Can we do the ending we want to do?
What is it?
Yeah. Ding, dong.
My love for you.
My love for you is growing.
If you want to get in contact with us, you
That
can
was
find
the
us on
worst
Twitter
thing
at Movie Reviews In. You can email us at mritqs@gmail.com,
difficult.
and you can find us on Facebook at Movie Reviews in 20Qs.
We're
And yeah,
at the
that's
end.
the end. That's the end.
No more alcohol.
Cool. All right. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Cheer.
Play out, there you go. I wouldn't mind, but I haven't.
Yeah,
I've got
they don't talk much, but that's because all their blood's all
I don't
in
need
the
them
middle.
to talk, Matiu. Yeah, cut it out. Just cut that bit
Question
off.
has just been fucking
I know,
ruined.
it's so bad.
I was like,
Just
when
cut
Liz
it
was
out
like,
later.
Will Ferrell just stop making movies? I'm like, well, there goes my controversial
We
opinion.
need to do spoiler alerts on our own
I am
questions. Yeah, I've seen way more naked men in my life than I've seen naked women. Like way more.